Welcome to Listertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. And check out my merch if you're interested, and also check out my other channel, link in the description. Today we'll look at another 10 boxing champions who got demolished by the challenger. The list is thanks to El Ivan, who saw part 1 and gave me 10 more fights. Thanks, Ivan. They reigned, they fell, and now we talk about it. Let's get into it. The fight between Felix Trinidad and Bernard Hopkins in 2001 was huge. It was the first time since Marvin Hagler that the winner would be recognized as the undisputed middleweight champion. Tito came in with an undefeated record with 40 wins, 33 coming by way of knockout. Hopkins hadn't lost in the last 19 fights.
Knowing that he's intent.
Hard right hand by Hopkins, biggest blow of the fight. Trinidad momentarily stunned.
Hopkins had a perfect game plan, employing his left jab masterfully and moving away from Trinidad's best punch, the left hook. Trinidad just looked like he came in to attack and tried to knock out Hopkins. They were so ignited during the fight that after the 5th round bell, they continued throwing shots and had to be separated by force by the referee. With the last 3 rounds coming and Tito realizing he was far back on the judges' cards, he started to get really anxious and became more and more reckless. He got caught in the 12th round by a huge right hand that knocked him down.
Will end his skill on the man who is tonight. Oh, huge right hand by Hopkins. Down goes Trinidad.
He managed to get back up, but his father and trainer stopped the fight. Hopkins showed his tremendous skill and became the fighter of the year. This fight was obviously not a legitimate fight since Margarito is under suspicion of having plaster in his hand wraps, but nevertheless in 2008 Miguel Cotto, the undefeated WBA welterweight champion with a record of 32 wins with 26 of them coming by way of knockout. He was facing off against Antonio Margarito, the disgraced Mexican boxer. Cotto had started this fight fast, landing the better combinations and moving around very well.
Slipping the right hand there, and another combination of minutes. Both men boxing, Cotto goes to the body.
Margarito was just walking through all those powerful landed punches, which is basically his style of boxing. And eventually, he started catching up to Cotto and landing some crazy body shots that started slowing him down.
Able to find Cotto with the right hand there. Now lands a rep.
A lot of judges like the guy going forward.
Too hard right hand.
In the 11th round, Margarito landed a combination that hurt Cotto and made him take a knee. Cotto beat the count, but he went down again, and before the ref could start the count for a second time, his corner threw in the towel.
Margarito short shots on the inside now, Emmanuel. Oh yeah. Adjustment has accumulated to the...
Fortunately for Cotto, he was able to get a rematch and win it, showing that Margarito only won the first one because he was possibly cheating. George Foreman was able to accomplish what many thought to be impossible 26 years ago. He was facing Michael Moorer, who was the WBA and IBF heavyweight champion after he defeated Holyfield. Foreman saw his opportunity to be champion once again after losing his previous attempts. Moorer came in being obviously younger, faster, more mobile, and put together great combinations. His game plan was to box and stay away from Foreman.
George's face slightly Joe Cortez finally that's what Foreman seems to have no reply.
Moorer was dominating the fight through 9 rounds, leading 88-83 on 2 scorecards. In the 10th round, with Foreman being told by his trainer that he needed the knockout, he started moving in, and with 15 seconds left, he landed something big.
Michael Moorer needs to go back to working. That's it! It's a short right hand! There is no way he's getting up from that!
He had landed his powerful right hand that put Moorer down. He had knocked him out. Foreman was able to become the oldest heavyweight champion in history by knocking out Michael Moorer. In 1990, Meldrick Triller was in the fight of the year and possibly the fight of the decade against Julio Cesar Chavez. They were both champions coming into the fight and both had undefeated records. Chavez was 68-0 while Taylor was 25-0. Taylor was actually dominating the fight through 12 rounds, with 2 judges having him up by at least 5 rounds.
Good right hand lead by Taylor. Still trading 4 blows to 1 for Chavez. Chavez tries the left inside. Taylor
Chavez was relentless, coming forward and was able to hurt Taylor various times in the rounds he lost, but Taylor was just too fast and slick. But then came the final seconds of the 12th round. With only 23 seconds left, Chavez landed a shot that hurt Taylor and pushed him back towards the corner. Chavez moved in and landed a shot that dropped Taylor. Taylor did manage to get back up, but the referee Steele did not get the answers he needed to allow the fight to continue and called off the fight with 2 seconds left. Although many think it was controversial, Steele to this day says he made the right call since Taylor was not there in the final seconds. Lennox Lewis put the title on the line in 1994 when he fought Oliver McCall. Lennox had defended the title 3 times and was still undefeated in 25 fights. McCall was 24-5 and thus Lennox was overlooking this fight and had actually negotiated his next fight against champion Riddick Bowe. What disrespect.
At ringside making his comeback and wondering will he ever get to fight, and reckons he's in the best condition of his life.
The first round was very close, but Lewis got the call by 2 judges. The second round is where everything came to an end.
Lewis unbeaten, remember, after 25 fights. Oh, he's got him! Oh, Lewis walked into a right hand they worried about, and Lewis staggers, and the referee has decided it's all over.
Lewis was trying to be aggressive while McCall was waiting for a mistake, which he got when Lewis threw a right hand that McCall was able to counter with his own right hand that dropped Lewis to the canvas. Lewis did manage to get up at 6, but the referee continued the count and waved off the fight as Lewis fell into him. Mike Tyson took on Michael Spinks back in 1988 while Tyson was the most feared man in sports. Spinks didn't even want to come out of his dressing room. That's how scared he was. Both fighters were undefeated, with Tyson having 34 fights with 30 knockouts, while Spinks had 31 wins with 21 knockouts. This was a unification fight as both fighters were champions. With just 1 minute into the fight, Tyson forced Spinks to take a knee with a vicious body shot.
But Tyson walks right through it. Tyson showing no fear, no risk to the body. Nothing really heavy landing yet, but he's taking them. The uppercut, body shot.
As they restarted the fight, Tyson came in to finish it.
Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes.
It took just 91 seconds for the fight to end with only 10 punches landed. Many believe that Tyson was more furious than usual in this fight since Spinks' promoter had made a commotion about Tyson's hand wraps and wanted them re-wrapped. Tyson told his trainer after this delay that he was going to hurt this guy. Do not anger the most feared fighter in history, come on. Last year, Anthony Joshua was undefeated with a record of 22 wins and 21 knockouts. He was putting his 3 titles on the line against Andy Ruiz Jr., who had a record of 31 wins with only 1 defeat and 21 knockouts. Joshua was actually supposed to fight Gerald Miller, but after he tested positive for banned substances, they needed to find another opponent. In stepped Andy Ruiz. Joshua started the fight pretty well, dropping Ruiz in the 3rd round.
In between being in camp and getting right back in after he got this fight, and there he goes down!
Ruiz got back up without appearing to be hurt, just a little shocked, and then he started coming forward, landing heavy shots while walking through Joshua's jabs until he landed his own big shot. This shot was huge as Joshua never seemed to be fully recovered from this as he was dropped again later in that round.
Can Ruiz take advantage? Big hand that lands on Joshua, headed towards the end of the round.
There was little action until the 7th round when Ruiz once again knocked down Joshua twice to end the fight.
Joshua, big left hand that stung Ruiz, and then Ruiz right back with Joshua, and Joshua in trouble. Joshua finally landing a big blow, and now another. Can Ruiz counter Joshua?
Joshua was clearly overlooking this fight as he had been trying to make a mega fight with Wilder for quite a while. He did come back and beat Ruiz in the rematch as he took it more seriously this time. In 1978, we had another championship match between undefeated boxers when Wilfredo Gomez took on Carlos Sarate. Wilfredo Gomez had 21 wins and had knocked out every single opponent, while Sarate had 52 victories with 51 knockouts. Both fighters were landing power shots at will through the first 3 rounds. The fight had become a brawl, and in the 4th round, Gomez was able to put Sarate on the canvas. He did manage to get back up, but Gomez pressed forward and put him down again. Then they made it to the 5th round, where Gomez was able to finish the job in only 44 seconds. This was one of the great all-time fights with 2 Hall of Fame boxers in the great Mexico vs. Puerto Rico rivalry. In 1981, Sugar Ray Leonard and Hearns met in one of the most anticipated fights of all time. Leonard was 30-1, while Hearns came in with an undefeated record of 32-0. They were both welterweight champions. Hearns was dominating the first 12 rounds, but then in round 13th, Leonard managed to drop Hearns twice.
Leonard takes the better punch. The bell cannot save him if he goes down.
In the 14th round, Leonard continued his onslaught and managed to pin Hagler against the ropes and unleashed an incredible combination.
There was that right hand.
Oh! That nailed it.
And now he doesn't have it.
Leonard gives him no rest. Or grab hold of him, which he's not doing.
No, he's too weak. He has nothing left. He's going to be knocked out.
This forced the referee to stop the fight. Hagler was actually winning the fight by at least 2 points on all the cards. It all changed when Leonard's trainer Angelo Dundee said the famous words.
9 minutes. You're blowing it now, son. You're blowing it.
The great Salvador Sanchez died at an early age of 23, but in this short career he was good enough to be on the all-time great list by many experts. In 1981, he beat the undefeated Wilfredo Gomez, who had a record of 32 wins and 0 defeats, with all wins coming by way of knockout. The fight started with a very quick surprise. Sanchez was able to knock down Gomez in only 40 seconds. He got back up but was hit constantly and almost went down again that same round. The next 6 rounds were a battle with Gomez moving forward trying to land his powerful punches, and in the 7th round he finally managed to land a good combination that wobbled Sanchez. Sanchez was able to recover quickly from this combination. Then round 8 came, where Gomez's eyes were almost swollen shut. Sanchez landed a right hand that put Gomez against the ropes, and Sanchez moved in with a flurry that put Gomez down again.
Gomez is on the rope and in the nose again. It's hurt. It's hurt. Gomez is hurt.
Gomez did manage to beat the count, but the referee stopped the fight, making Sanchez a legend in Mexico as he avenged the loss by Carlos Sarate that happened a few years before. Being a champion and losing by knockout has to be very devastating, since most people look at you to be one of the best boxers ever. But what really makes someone great is how they come back from the adversity. Many of the fighters on this list were never the same again, and it really affects their standing among the all-time greats. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. Also, make sure to turn on those notifications and let me know in the comments what champions you can think of that were never the same after losing in a bad way. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.